Listen to your Puerto Rican Princess Sashily K for all things K-pop and K-drama and what's new and happening all around Oahu. Tune into my show From One Native to Another, Tuesday nights at 8 on KPRP Pinoy Power, 650 AM. Good evening. Good evening. Still learning the tricks and trades from Sunny. This is your Puerto Rican Princess Sashily K on Pinoy Power 650 KPRP AM. Oh, I said that all sorts of backwards. Let me try that one more time. This is Sashily K, your Puerto Rican Princess on KPRP 650 AM Pinoy Power. That sounded much, much better. So I am here again. Yes, you are welcome. Thank you. Here on this beautiful Tuesday night at 8 o'clock to give you everything that I love, especially about K-drama, K-pop, and lovely things that are happening around Oahu. Again, you're welcome. So, this week, or actually a couple of days ago, on my blog, K-drama, that's right, I talked about Bride of the Century. Now, anytime anyone thinks Bride of the Century, I was like, okay, I'm expecting this to be really good because it's of the century. And it actually was really, really good. So it was starring Lee Hong-ki as Choi Kang-ju and Jang Jin-sung. Now, Jang Jin-sung, she played a dual role. So it was kind of cool. She played her own, like, you know how everyone says that you have a twin walking around, somebody that looks just like you? Well, that's kind of what she does. She plays both characters herself. So anytime an actor is pushed, anytime an actor is willing to go to that far of a depth that they have to be so completely, utterly different in the same show, that takes guts and that takes character. So I really, really like that she did. She did Jang Ji-kyung and Nadorim. So that was kind of cool. So Jang Ji-kyung is like the princess. You know, she has everything. She's got money. She doesn't have a personality or humor, but she's got money. And then Nadorim is, of course, the exact opposite. She is poor and she's downtrodden and she's so sad and kind of Cinderella. A lot of the K-dramas do a lot of, Cinderella, poor girl looking for her prince, especially for the younger, kind of like, late teenagers, early college students. Those kinds of storylines have a lot of Cinderella, a lot of love-hate relationships. So this kind of goes into that theme. Now, the cool thing is that Nadorim, that's the character, not the actress. So Nadorim and Choi Kang-ju's families actually have a lot to do with each other. And we don't, spoiler, my bad, spoiler for Bride of the Century. But they do have a lot of things to do, like their families have a lot of things to do with each other. And it's up to them to kind of fix it. Now, what I really liked about this, apart from the dual personalities that the actress has to play as in the two characters, it was really cool because it has supernatural bent to it, which was that this ghost of the family, like she looks after the firstborn son and she gets rid of the first wives if they don't love them enough, if they don't cherish them enough. So that's kind of cool. And then, all sorts of things happen. The bride runs away, and then they plead to Nadorim for her to come in because she's poor and she needs money. And then, of course, they end up falling in love, and he starts figuring out that something's not right because then Nadorim leaves, and then Jang Ji-kyung comes back, and he was like, "This is not who I fell in love with. Who are you?" Let me tell you, when he got so close, like really close to her face and was about to kiss the wrong one, I was so not happy. But then he realized that it wasn't Nadorim. and so of course then he gets upset for being duped and not knowing about the curse and so on and so forth. Oh, and then of course male lead number two, so sad, is Jang Yi-kyung's older brother, her oppa, um, Jang Ji-hyun. Sometimes all of these names that sound the same or sound very similar, especially with siblings, is very like, it's like Larry, Lance, and Lucas. And I'm just like, I don't remember who is who and what is what. Thankfully, in this one, it's a boy and it's a girl, so it's easier to tell them apart. But if you want to know more about it, you can check out my blog, and you can find my blog through any of my social medias. So Sashily K, SashilyK, either Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And Facebook is really really easy to find, and all of the links to the various blogs are up there. And what I like to do, because I don't know, I've read a lot of blogs from other writers, and sometimes when I started one myself, I was like, well, I want to see what this person is talking about. I want to see what if this is interesting to me or not. So I put a lot of pictures up there, and I give you like little scenes and social, show you like facial expressions and when he likes one and he doesn't like the other one, and the ghost is up there. So it's a lot of fun. I try to make it fun. Fun, fun, fun. That's right. Fun here at KPRP 650 AM. uh, but it's a lot of fun. So Bride of the Century, one family's curse changed the fate of a group of individuals entangled together for the promise of a better future. The problem is that, like anything that has to do with human nature, it all depends on how much you put into it. If like Jang Ji-kyung was only putting in, the bad. She wanted the status and she wanted the power of being, this chaebol's wife, and she wanted to like rub it in the face of all her girlfriends. I'm like, that's not, you're supposed to be happy first and then be happy with who you are and then happy. So she was definitely a good villainess, but you don't see a lot of good villainesses. Ooh, so in the last show, so last Tuesday, I talked a lot about my love of comic books, comic characters, comic cons, basically anything comic booky, right? And I put out in my blog that goes around all the things that happen around Oahu, which is also on any of my social media. So Sashily K, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like I said, you can find me easy on Google, and then the Facebook would be what I would recommend, because everyone knows how to manage Facebook, and it's all right there, and it's really easy to find. You are welcome. So in October, I don't know if you guys remember, but I said that I had met Mr. Stan Lee. That's right, the Leaster himself. So this week on my From One Native to Another, which is the name of the radio show and my blog, it's just easy when you find something that you like and you kind of go with it. So I wrote a lot about the Comic Cons and that day in October when I took the kids. I've been taking the kids to Comic Cons, I think, for the past like 3 or 4 years. There weren't, at least not that I knew about, there weren't any Comic Cons around Misawa, Japan. There has to be Comic Cons in like Tokyo, because I mean, that's like anime central right there, downtown Tokyo. You just walk around and you just see, cosplay as a daily thing, as a daily part of life, which is really, really, really cool. But in Misawa, it was much more farm country, a lot of pig farms, which is fine because we would get a lot of fresh pork, but, downwind and you just hid in your house for the rest of the afternoon. Yeah. So Comic Cons. So I took the kids to the amazing Hawaii Comic Con. And the reason that I put it on my blog post this week is because the amazing Hawaii Comic Con is coming back. It's coming back at the end of May. I think it's like May 20 something. May 20. I can't remember right now, but it's if you Google the amazing Hawaii Comic Con or go on my blog, then you'll find all of the information there and links to get to the Hawaii Comic Con. Like I said, in October, Sashily K, which was amazing, and I believe the creator of Daredevil came to, and he gave a speech, and he gave kind of like a little conference. The cool thing about these kinds of Comic Cons is that not only do you meet a lot of like-minded people that, love cosplay and anime and Comic Cons and, Marvel versus DC and, all of these wonderful things, I believe even this last one, there was someone dressed up as a character from Miyazaki-san, which is Ghibli Studios, from Spirited Away. So that was incredibly amazing. I imagine incredibly uncomfortable because it was just like a humongous hood, thing. So yeah. But as we were walking through the parking, it was so many people, they actually let us park inside the Hawaii Convention Center. And so we were walking through and we saw two people dressed as Rose Quartz and Greg Universe from Steven Universe. So she had on the pink wig, lots of curls, and this humongous pink and white, like, princess outfit, which was like, it was amazing. Like, if somebody tried to rob her, she would not be able to run 3 steps, let alone get away from the person, from the mugger. That was not happening at all not happening. So Rose Quartz and Greg Universe are Steve Universe's parents. That sounded like aluminum. Never mind, I can't say that one either. So that was kind of cool. Greg, the guy dressed up as Greg, had the guitar, so he was, strumming his pain. And then we saw a Ghostbusters, like the old school Ghostbusters car. So we took a quick picture, with the logo and the car. And then, when we first walked in, there was a stormtrooper with like Imperial lieutenant soldiers, whatnot. And the kids ran because they're humongous Star Wars fans. And so they ran and they took a picture really quick. And I asked the stormtrooper, are you looking for new recruits? Because, they need to go. Apparently, I was the only one that thought that was funny. I don't know. I thought it was funny. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And the kids were trying to, push back, and they were like, no, I don't want to go with these strangers, regardless of whether they're Star Wars or not. But we will be right back. We will be visiting with our sponsors and talking more about the amazing Hawaii Comic Con after we visit from our sponsors. We are back. Yes, we are back from break. This is Sashily K on KPRP 650 AM Pinoy Power. Please check us out on Ustream, because you know that if you stream, I stream, we all stream for me. That's right. For what? Oh, yes. www.ustream.com/TV Pinoy Power Radio. Miss Sunny caught me. I forgot she caught me. That's okay. I'm still learning. It was a technical difficulty in my brain. So that was our lovely, lovely sponsors. Yes, I'm learning, and I learn kind of slow, so it's all good. So we were talking about the amazing Hawaii Comic Con and Stan Lee. and trying to sell my children to the storm stormtrooper academy. Miss Sunny's laughing at me, but it's true. Please take them, please, please, please. uh, so we're walking around, right? Comic Cons are really good for um, what is it? Not just to see like all the famous people, which is actually really really nice, but there's conferences, there's how tos, there's networking events, a lot of artists, local and from the mainland and from other countries. They come. They want people to see their things, to buy them, to network. So sometimes it's kind of like getting on the ground floor of a Picasso sometimes. You never know which artist or which comic book is going to just explode, or, who DC or Marvel is going to want to cooperate with and create something, so you never know. You never know. And sometimes it's just fun and it's just cool. And, like I said in my blog, sometimes you have to grow. What is it? No, you don't have to grow up. You just get a little vintage. All right. Oh, we were walking around, so you know that people dress up, cosplay and whatnot, and we walked around and we saw a Ghost Rider. So Johnny Blaze dressed up. He had the skull. He had the fire. It was going. I told the 8-year-old, go ask him. Go sit with him and go stand next to him and get him to take a picture. And he was like, no, don't make me talk to the skull. Don't make me talk to the skull. But I did. And if you want to see the picture, it's on my blog. It is. But like I said, Amazing Hawaii Comic Con, it's coming at the end of May. So May 22nd, that's in like 9-10 days. See, this time I didn't say May 4th thinking it was like 3 weeks from now. I'm actually giving some time so you guys can get your tickets. That's right. And then my last blog, although sometimes it's my favorite, is about K-pop. I don't know, K-pop and K-dramas, they're so like interlaced. It's not even funny. So remember we were talking about Bride of the Century, which the main character is Lee Ki, the actor. So Lee Ki is also the face of FT Island. FT Island means Five Treasure Island because it's a 5-member boy band group. Apparently they're the treasure of FNC Entertainment. I don't know. They could be. Sometimes CN Blue gives them a run for their money. I'm just saying. But FT Island, it's really, really cool. Much more edgier of a rock band than CN Blue is. CN Blue is a lot more mainstream. So when I want that feel, that like grunge, more like 80s, like AC/DC kind of feel to it, definitely FT Island. They are really, really cool. I've been using really, really a lot today. Have you noticed that? Really, really. Why? Haha. We'll change really, really to why. No. So, a lot of K-pop groups designate different personalities or different traits to the various members of the groups. So, Lee Ki is the face. So, him being the face, he's, in every poster, he's like, the front man, he's every time they do a video, he's seen more. Anytime that they have to do like reality shows, he was in, is it Just Got Married or Let's Get Married? I don't know. They fake marry different like celebrities together and see how they would feel if they were married, So that's kind of cool. So he is the face. He's the most well known. Then there is Choi Jung-hoon. They call him, he's the designated sexy one. I don't know. Maybe. Sometimes, I don't know. So he's the designated sexy one. He's the leader and the main guitarist. Then there's Lee Jae-jin. Lee Jae-jin and Ki wrote To the Light, So a lot of these guys are not just players in the band, they're also composers and lyricists, which is, amazing because they have a nice variety in their music. They can do, hardcore rock, and then they can do like monster ballads. So, they get your heart up and running, and then they soothe it with, different songs. Um, they have a song called Where's My Puppy? I'm going to repeat that. They have a song called Where's My Puppy? And that's all it is. And I think it is so fantastic. It is so much fun. And the colors of the music video are bright, rainbow, Crayola, bright colors. And it's just cuteness and fun. And all they're doing for the whole movie, for the whole music video, is looking for this puppy. That's all they do, the whole thing. Then there's Choi Min Hwan. He is the drummer. He's also the maknae. Maknae means the youngest of the group. I didn't see, at least from my research, I didn't see whether or not he composed any of the music. I know that he's helped on some of the songs, but I don't know how much or how little. But in any rock band, I mean, what's a rock band without a drummer? So he keeps everyone on beat and on time and ready and willing to rock. That's right. My ultimate favorite song of theirs is Be Free. It's amazing because even my husband, who like tolerates my K-pop addiction as much as humanly possible, I played it for him and he was actually interested. He was like, that sounds really, really good. And obviously it's in Korean, so most of it he doesn't even understand what it's saying or what it's talking about. But the passion that the music is composed and then the little bit of English in the chorus pushes it and keeps on pushing it into our hearts. And it was just, I don't know. I really, really, really love FT Island's Be Free. So in the last show, I had told you guys that I went to the mainland for, I don't know, like, I think it was like a week and a half, 10 days or so. I went because two of my doctors, professors from my alma mater, Norfolk State University, retired. One completely retired, Dr. Paula Briggs, and one semi-retired, Dr. Stanley Tickton. I don't think anyone is going to get rid of Dr. Tickton anytime soon, but he is definitely lessening his hours and his schedule. So the school celebrated them, and I, of course, went. I had to. He was the only class that I failed. And I'm a smart cookie, okay? I am a very smart cookie. And the fact that I failed, I mean, well, first of all, I was taking 7 classes that semester. So let's just put that out on the table. 7 classes, all pretty hard classes. And he had no problem failing me. No problem. He was like, and you're done. You might as well just drop the class. There's no way you can pass from now on. He just told me in his office, he's like, and you're done. So I definitely went, and we celebrated. We had a humongous dinner, and we celebrated them. We celebrated their life. There were students there from back in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, tables full of people that these two professors touched and guided. And I'm very, very fortunate to be named as one of the students that they were definitely an influence on. And they made me want to be better, and they made me want to push myself. And in that, I'm going to go tomorrow and start the process of my master's program at the University of Hawaii. Apparently, Miss Sunny likes the University of Hawaii. I'm a little terrified and a little looking forward to it. I'm a little terrified because I'm going to get my master's in English with a creative writing path concentrating on poetry. And one of the first things that I have to do is show them like a book, like show them at least 15 to 20 pages full of my poems and my poetry, and, you know, like a little like booklet or like little, you know, novella, mini book. And they have to review it to see if, not when, to see if I will be allowed into the creative writing with a poetry concentration master's program. But I will talk more about this when we finish visiting with our sponsors. And this is Sashily K. That's right, Sashily K. On KPRP Pinoy Power 650 AM. Back from break. That's right, you're listening to From One Native to Another. Now you need to look at your Ustream. Do you see me? Do you see me? www.ustream/TV Pinoy Power Radio. That's right. I am here. We are here. I think that last transition was better. Yeah, Sonny?
Oh, great.
Whew. I promise I'm getting this. I promise. So I was talking about going back to the mainland, back to Virginia, celebrating two of my wonderful, wonderful professors, retiring / semi-retiring from doing classes and taking on more students. So along with that, I also reconnected and went home to Venue on 35th. My peoples at Venue. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, pizza, pizza. And my wonderful hermano, George Mendez. That's right. George, I got to show you guys because I got this in the mail. Can you see it? Can you see it? Look, that's George. That's George. So he put out his very, very first book of poetry called Keys and Crowbars. Isn't that amazing? I was reading some of these. Well, some of these I've seen him perform. And of course, you know, performing and, you know, just reading it on paper is vastly, vastly different. But poetry is still poetry, and it's lovely. And look, he signed it for me because he's my big brother. Well, actually, we're kind of the same age, so maybe I'm his big sister. I don't know. But definitely very, very cool. Jeff Hewitt, shout out to Jeff Hewitt. He was the editor, or he is the editor of the book. And the cover and book design was also by Jeff Hewitt. And the cover art mosaics by Kendra Henricks. So a lot of Venue 35th just kind of getting together, putting out something that's just amazing. I talked to George today, and I asked him if I could read one or two of these. Let me see. I'm going to pick Low Enough to Reach Me. So this is a book by a poem by George Mendez. Low Enough to Reach Me. You only let me touch you when you're drunk. 3 a.m. stumbling over your primal urges, reeking of bar smoke and cotton candy. Your visceral alter ego with her inhibitions thrown about the ransacked corridors of your standards. Only now would you dare find me attractive. It's only in this state you could ever find yourself low enough to reach me. The phone call comes like clockwork, synchronized with last call. You don't ask me, you tell me you're coming over. I leave the door unlocked. You show up disheveled, barefoot, high heels dangling in your clumsy grip, hair a far cry from how it looked in the picture you sent just hours earlier. Mascara forming tear tracks beneath your eyes, alive with adrenaline and alcohol. Bitterly beautiful. Face flush with shamelessness, your mouth feeds me flavors that describe what your night was like. A caustic cocktail of vodka, frustration, jelly ranchers, sin, and sorrow. You're just as intoxicating as you are intoxicated. You hold me long, squeeze me tight, caress me like a lover. You even say you've missed me. You never greet me like this, sober, presumptuous, and pretty. You know I won't resist you. That's my fault. I never gave you any reason to think otherwise. Rationalizing it for myself, well, she didn't have to call me. But while the man in me knows better, the male in me is weak. So he settles and gives in. We do things I can't forget and wonder if you can even remember. Dawn wipes away all record of the dirt we dug at dusk. You gather up your clothes, shovel, and pride, much too high to reach me now, and leave without so much as a kiss goodbye. You only let me touch you when you're drunk. 3 a.m., stumbling over your self-respect. Only in this state do you ever find yourself low enough to reach me. I got goosebumps just reading that. George Mendez is an incredible poet, a great friend, and it's just, I'm so happy, so incredibly happy that he has been able to, with a lot of love for his craft, put out this wonderful, wonderful book. And then the one that I'm looking for is, oh my goodness, it's my husband's favorite. It's my husband's favorite book, favorite poem. And it is, oh my goodness, now I can't find it. I should have probably oh, here it is. I should have labeled which ones I wanted. I just didn't want to write on it. I didn't want to do the little, what is it? The little corner. All right. So this one is called Breakthrough. You say I've gone mad. I say I've made a rational adjustment to an insane world. I haven't lost my marbles. I've given them away. I do not have a screw loose. I've had it completely removed. I haven't lost touch with reality. I've simply cut off my hands, and I didn't fall off the deep end. I did a triple, somersault, swan dive, cannonball while taking a picture of myself with a waterproof camera on the way down. Adjust your 3D glasses, and you might see me, and you might see my fourth dimension. But consider those blue and red lenses like the pills in the Matrix. Perhaps IMAX could make you see the big picture. You say I've gone astray, that I've somehow lost my way, while you consult your GPS to tell you where you are and where you're going, as if that course has been charted. My road is not less traveled, it is untraveled. My thoughts wander whimsically through a wonderful wilderness of wild things that only Max and I seem to understand. I've traveled through the Goblin King's labyrinth upon yellow brick roads that lead to One-Eyed Willie's treasure. I took a trip to Neverland. On Mr. Rogers' magical trolley of make-believe, I walk through wardrobes that lead to tea parties with madmen, and I feel at home there. I rode a bicycle across the silhouette of the moon with an alien in a newspaper basket. I had the most excellent adventure. In a time-traveling phone booth, the DeLorean was in the shop. I busted ghosts in New York City, outran a boulder in an ancient temple, fed my mogwai after midnight, then gave it a bath. On purpose. I fought off flocks with Hitchcock, critiqued the night gallery, went to the outer limits of the Twilight Zone, and came back with some amazing stories. I rode the Pegasus with Ray Harryhausen, battled the Cyclops with the Argonauts. I was told a never-ending story in the land of the lost, and I know the fate of our planet if we don't prove we're smarter than those damn dirty apes. I learned ninjutsu from a mutant rat. I know the cavemen used dinosaurs as construction equipment and woolly mammoths as showers. I know the secret to gummy berry juice. I speak fluent Smurf. I know the Care Bear stare, and I know that knowing's half the battle. I've gotten dangerous with Darkwing Duck, activated the Wonder Twins, solved mysteries with a dog out of the back of the hippie van, and stood before the gates of Castle Grayskull with Sword of Omen high above my head, shouting, "Thunder! Thunder! Thundercats!" Whoa. I am your Cheshire Cat in the Hat, your Willy Wonka gum bunkers. I am your demented cross between Dr. Seuss and Robert Frost, Roald Dahl and Aristotle, Mary Shelley and Shel Silverstein, Stephen King and Mother Goose. Nonsense, you say sensibly. But you are speaking sense. Makes you no less mad than I for speaking nonsense. Did that make sense? I'm not sure when it happened, but you forgot about simplicity. Somewhere along the way, you forgot how to play. Do you remember the day you put your toys down? The weekend you slept through Saturday morning cartoons? Or the first time you walked around a puddle instead of splashing through it? You tell me I've gone mad, as if insanity, imagination, and innocence didn't exist as some sort of Middle-earth Triforce Triad Trinity. You tell me I've gone crazy, but the craziest thing I can think of is seeing the world as it is and not as it should be. My madness is not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. Savor the silly, absorb the asinine, relish the ridiculous. Go ahead, break through. Go off your rocker, go bananas, go crazy, go nuts. Speak to me in a language you made up. Lose your mind. You'll be amazed what you'll find once you do. George Mendez. That's right, Keys and Crowbars. And now we will be back we will be visiting our sponsors. And I am back. That's right. This is Sashily K, your Puerto Rican princess, on the show from one native to another here on KPRP 650 AM Pinoy Power. And please watch us on Ustream because we all need to stream. www.ustream/TV Pinoy Power Radio. Ustream. Just in case you didn't hear me, but so we are definitely back from our break, and the two poems that I read was Low Enough to Reach Me and Breakthrough by George Mendez. New book out, Keys and Crowbars. So, because I was trying to finish the poem, so I kind of rushed. So, but I want to make sure, George Mendez. So, please look him up on Facebook. George is spelled like the Spanish George. So it's Jorge Mendez, Mendez. So George Mendez, Keys and Crowbars. Isn't it wonderful to have multi-talented and multilingual and multi friends that you can promote on your radio station? I don't know. That's just fun for me. Fun for me. So definitely shout out to George, shout out to Jeff. Um, they're doing their thing. Uh, it's lovely. And speaking of multi talented and multilingual friends, I have another friend. His name is Brent Charles, and he put out a song that's half in English and half in Spanish. So that's kind of up my alley. I love when, well, just like K-pop. K-pop does Korean and English. So I don't know. I like when you do music in more than one language because then your audience just doubles and triples. Because even if I'm only a Spanish speaker, then I'll grab onto the parts of the song that are in Spanish and still kind of get a feeling through the composition of the music and then through what I understand for the song. So it gives it a wider audience appeal. Oh, I showed my IQ there. I'm sorry. My bad. All right. So Brent Charles, his song is Sunshine. So he has it both just in English and in Spanish and in English. He is based in Miami. And listen to this, Sonny. He can sing in Spanish, Italian, French, Portuguese, English, and Hebrew. Brent Charles. That is amazing. I want to ask him, when he sings in Hebrew, does he sing backwards? Because you read Hebrew, well, backwards for us because we read anyway. So so that's amazing. He sings. I've only known like music students from school from Norfolk State, and they were taught to sing like the operas. So they were taught to sing in Italian and in French. So sometimes, a lot of them don't speak the language, but they were definitely taught, like, you have to know like the pronunciation and how you sing the song. So having him do that is just incredible. And when I was doing a little bit of research on him, I came across his YouTube channel, and he actually has a rendition of Unchained Melody. Oh, I love that song. It's so, so pretty. So he's got a rendition of Unchained Melody, which is really, really nice. And what's cool is that it's like in front of a piano, like in front of an audience. So it's kind of got that Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra kind of feel to it. He's got his jacket on. It's not a tuxedo, but it's like a white jacket on and stuff like that. So, he comes from a musical family. So that's also interesting because I also come from a musical family. We actually had a lot in common when we talked. And I was teasing him because we met at the Miami Web Fest, which is it's like a festival. It's like a film festival. So it's like a Cannes, just on a smaller scale. And it's for people that put content on the web, so web episodes and web seasons. And so we met there, and I was teasing him because we were like in Calle Ocho, which is like Little Havana. It's like right middle center stab of like anything Cuban, Hispanic, Puerto Rican in Miami. And so, we're sitting and we're talking and whatnot. And this beautiful, and I do mean beautiful, woman like walked past us, and he said something in Spanish like, wow, ooh, baby. Nothing disrespectful, but definitely, she caught the eye. She had everything that her mama gave her, and then like 10% of somebody else's mama. She was gorgeous, like gorgeous, gorgeous. So he just exclaimed something in Spanish, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I just died laughing. I don't know if he didn't think I spoke Spanish, or at that moment, like, or he just said it to like set me off, because I'm a giggly kind of person to begin with. So he kind of set me off, and we were just laughing and giggling and whatnot. So this is a song from Brent Charles, and it is called Sunshine.
Cuando tú me abrazas, estoy perdido cuando me tocas. Has llegado a mi corazón, corazón. Del principio sentí el fuego de tu amor y bebé tú eres. You are my sunshine. Yeah. When the rain's falling down, girl, you're siempre estás. You are my peace. Eres mi paz. When the world's got me down, girl, you're always around. Nunca creí tu amor así fuera. Tu amor es bien difícil de encontrar, encontrar. Hay días que no puedo estar. We're apart, girl, it's hard to be strong. Te extraño mucho. Los días son tan largos. Ven cerca de mí. You are my sunshine. Yeah. When the rain's falling down, girl, you're always around. You are my peace of mind. When the world's got me down, girl, you're always around. You are my sunshine. Sunshine. When the rain's falling down, girl, you're always around. You are my peace of mind. When the world's got me down, girl, you're always around. No more, no more falling asleep alone. No more, no more. I'll be holding you all night long, all night. No more, no more falling asleep alone. Ya no tienes que esperar, ya no tienes que llorar. I'll be holding you all night long. No more, it's hard to be strong. You are my sunshine. When the rain's falling down, girl, you're always around. You are my peace of mind. When the world's got me down, girl, you're always around. You are my sunshine. When the rain's falling down, you're always around. Siempre contigo, siempre contigo. When the world's got me down, girl, you're always around. You are my sunshine. When the rain's falling down, girl, you're always around. You are my peace of mind. Ya no quieres esperar, ya no tienes que llorar.
And that was Brent Charles with a Sunshine. That's right. Is that amazing? Spanish and in English. And when he did those high notes, son, I need you to stop. Hold back those falsettos, please. Okay? I can't hit those high notes. You gotta give me some of those high notes. So maybe I can be like Celine and Whitney. But anyway, that was Brent Charles with Sunshine, the Spanglish version, which is kind of cool. And you can find him also on Facebook. And I am Sashily K. And my show has been From One Native to Another here on KPRP 650 AM. And you've been watching us on Ustream because Ustream and iStream, we all stream for my stream at www.ustream.com/TV Pinoy Power Radio. So tune in, keeping it, really, Sashily? So tune in, now I can't talk. Tune in next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. for From One Native to Another here on KPRP 650 a.m.
Listen to your Puerto Rican princess Sashily K for all things K-pop and K-drama and what's new and happening all around Oahu. Tune into my show From One Native to Another, Tuesday nights at 8 on KPRP Pinoy Power, 650 AM.